Hello, folks. So, in this video, I wanted to talk about problems in finding a partner, right, and the frustrations um, that lead to different things, um, and the frustrations in this, in finding a partner. What does it lead to, and you know, and probably it'll lead to some good things, is what I think. Though there are, of course, a lot of bad things. I think we know the bad things that come up with frustrations in finding a partner. A lot of people become very sad, annoyed, um, annoyed with themselves or the society or people, other people, or with God if they believe in God and they're like, why is God doing this to me, or the universe. They become even very, very sad to the extent that I don't know if they can become clinically depressed and all. So those are bad things, and some people just be like, they give up and they're like, I think I'll die alone. I just don't want to live anymore and whatnot. Very bad states. Does it lead to anything good when you can't find a partner? Like, due to the problems in today's era, right? Well, there are some good things. This is like saying there's a lining in all this. Ideally, I wouldn't say this to someone who is like, I just want to die. No. But I'm just looking at the different sides of this problem. And yeah, I mean, I can see some good things in the different problems that are happening in the dating scene and in the arranged marriage scene and whatnot, right? So let's go to the dating scene first. For example, I mean, 2 3 years ago, I used to be fat, right? And I used to have a bit chubby cheeks. My tummy was big and whatnot. And I remember a lot of people used to say, "I don't like you," right? I mean, or I didn't get much right swipes in dating apps, right? And I was like, okay, so it's my figure. I took it a bit personally, a bit too personally, and I went ahead and tried to work on it. I became too thin. I became like very, very thin. I became underweight at some point. I went from 74 to 59, 58 and all. So around 15 kgs lost. And then I came back to some 66. Recently, I've been 66, 68, 70 something. I've become a bit more chubbier, and my tummy is still there a bit, but not as bad as like when I was 74. I mean, I did make some crazy changes to my body. The best thing was I realized that I can change my body if I want to, in a good way, in a bad way, and whatnot. For example, like you can see my collarbones and all. So I basically changed some parts of my body completely. My hands are a bit skinny now, for good or for bad. In some ways, it's bad. Kind of seems like I'm malnutrition, but or not strong enough. In some ways, it's like okay, I'm not like too chubby. My tummy is still a bit big, but I think the other end is basically six pack abs. I do want to try that. Anyways, so that was the good part about me feeling bad about my body. You could say I just body shamed myself to some extent. I just felt bad about how I looked. Was it a motivation to do things? Yes. Unfortunately, it's not exactly sustainable. That's what I hear from many people, and I kind of agree, because this kind of motivation comes from negative energy, which is like you not liking yourself, you hating your body, right? I actually ate a lot of bad stuff over many years, right? So the last 2 3 years it has been good. I've been eating mostly good stuff, 95% to 99% good stuff. So yeah, I mean, the good part about me feeling bad about how I look, especially say the size of my body, the shape of my body, the weight of my body, it helped me lose weight. So yeah, I mean, in the dating scene, when women see fat men or when men see fat women, whatever your definition of fat is, right? So fat in double quotes, because everyone has their own definition, fat or chubby or whatever, or oversized or whatever. I think the good part is, maybe people will think that, okay, I need to probably reduce weight. That's a good thing, but of course there are a lot of bad things. Like, for example, you just feel bad about your body, about yourself, which is not a great place to be. And this is true even in the arranged marriage scene. Basically, looks, right? Looks doesn't matter actually. But then how I see it as is, in some ways, if you are oversized or if you're fat, you're probably not healthy, and that's what is showing up, right? In some ways or the other, you probably can change it. Apparently, genes are not the only reason that someone is fat or oversized or whatever, or is unhealthy or whatever, right? Most people can actually undo bad things that has happened, or that is happening, and don't have to blame genes. Very few people will be blaming genes for what is going on with them, their size, their shape, their weight, and whatnot, and say their looks and whatnot. For example, say women might not like men who don't have hair, who are bald, right? Or they don't carry it well. Maybe the men who are bald, they don't have enough hair, they don't probably carry it well, because I know some men who carry it really well. One of my friends, when I used to work, an ex-colleague, he basically shaved off his head completely because he realized he's losing a lot of hair, he's having very less hair. He was around my age only, plus or minus one my age. And what he did was, even I have a receding hairline, right? Like, only if I just probably put a lot of water in my hair and just pull this back, you will know that I have a really big forehead, because I don't have much hair after here, right? So I don't have a lot of hair over here and all, right? So this is what people call as receding hairline. It just goes behind, and you just have a bigger and bigger forehead until it just becomes, you lose all the hair, right? My partner has been telling me to, take care of my hair and my skin and all, which is like the good side of things, right? Like, I mean, once some woman says you don't have hair, or you realize that it's probably because you don't have enough hair because you're young, but you lost all your hair. Very rarely you can put it on genes. Instead, you can think about how you can eat healthy and whatnot, or else think about how to carry it well. My friends, they just shaved their head and they start growing beard, and they look like a guru now, right? They look very, very mature and whatnot, because they have a big beard, they shed off their head, and their face structure is such a way that they just carry it really well. They look really good, like a DJ or a very fancy guy or whatever, right? Very cool, very, 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 very cool, right? So if a man thinks, okay, my hair is the problem, they'll probably work on their skin, their hair. They'll do better skin care, hair care, something that's usually neglected by men, especially say in India and all that I've seen. Probably from my era or around my era, I think that'll change. Apart from just women doing skincare and hair care and all that, and grooming and all that, right? So not a lot of men I know do grooming a lot. So I think that will change. They'll start giving some importance to looks. It's not just about the clothes. I'm talking about proper looks on the body. So probably they'll do some good stuff. Though looks don't matter. For example, it's okay if you look dark. It's okay if you have pimples and whatnot. But then probably you'll do some skincare, and probably that will make things better. Say you won't have pimples, you won't lose hair, you'll have more hair, thick hair, shining hair, whatever, right? Or soft hair, whatever. And that will lead to some good things. While you're just trying to fix looks, you will also become healthy in terms of like skincare and hair care and all, or in terms of your body weight, your exercise, your muscles and whatnot, right? Or your bone density, muscle mass, reducing fat and whatnot in the body fat, right? So because of looks, maybe someone can get healthy by fixing their looks, in the process of fixing their looks, right? Hopefully they won't use any crazy measures to fix their looks in a unhealthy way, like surgeries and whatnot, or some unhealthy way of like not eating at all or whatever. I basically did that a long time ago, like intermittent fasting, eating very less and whatnot. I became underweight basically. I didn't work out and all. I just used diet to reduce weight. And I was walking, at times running, but it was mostly diet. This cardio is not going to help you very easily. Apparently, it's easier to eat less calories than burn more calories. Like, say 100 calories, it's easier to eat 100 calories less than to burn 100 calories. The amount of energy effort required is different, and the amount of time also, probably. So that's that. And the other good thing is, for example, the arranged marriage scene, dating scene. If people are not getting a good match and they are frustrated, they'll probably find love in some other way. Say, for example, in arranged marriage, they're not able to find some matches. They'll probably start falling in love. More and more people will start finding partners by falling in love. They'll not just look at pictures, they'll understand the person and they'll talk to them. And for love, caste, religion, race, sex, gender, what, nothing is a barrier usually. So looks, all of that is not a barrier. So usually you can go ahead and like try to fall in love. And I think more and more love marriages will happen where it's not just looking at photos and like knowing what community and caste and what religion you are, how much money you earn and whatnot, and then finally get married instead. You'll actually talk to people, date, find out, probably go out there, not just use dating apps, use your network, your friends of friends circles, and find out people and finally talk to them and form a good relationship, form friendships, and probably that will lead to something more, or it's still a great friendship, right? And that friendship can lead to some more friendships, which can probably lead to some romantic relationship someday if it comes to that. So yeah, I mean, not finding a match in an arranged marriage scene or dating scene probably will lead to good things also. But of course, I know a lot of bad things. Like a lot of my friends have, boy problems. Like women friends have boy problems. Um, I'll talk about that in a separate video about boy problems and men. In short, sometimes I think maybe if people don't like men so much, just kill all the men. Just kill all the men. Just kill all the boys that are born, or abort if it's a boy. This is similar to the whole idea of killing a child before it's born in the womb itself, when the child is found to be of some particular gender, right? For example, in India, it was a bad, infamous, popular thing where people used to kill girl children, right? Within the womb itself. I think it's called feticide or something. Basically, killing off the fetus, the womb, like the child in the womb. When you find out that it's a girl, that's why it's a sin, or it's illegal. It's a offense to actually find the gender of a child in India because of this reason, and it is still the case. Yeah, I mean, I will be like, just kill all the men. You will have solved a lot of problems probably, and I don't know. That is one way. Um, Very extremist. Being a man, I will say, yeah, I mean, why not? Men, a lot of men know how bad the men's side of humanity is, and a lot of women hate men. I'm like, okay, if that is the case, let's all just kill all the kill all of them. I'll make a separate video on that. So that's all I had for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.